What if I told you the worst thing you can do after a meal is sit down? No intense workout, no complicated diet, just one simple habit almost everyone does every single day. Imagine a guy named Jake. Jake is actively trying to be healthier. He eats decent portions, avoids junk food most of the time, and makes sure to drink plenty of water. But every single afternoon, he hits a wall. Around 2 p.m., his brain gets foggy. A few hours later, he's craving sugar. And after dinner, he feels completely bloated and lethargic. So Jake assumes the problem is what he's eating. He thinks he's consuming too many carbs, or maybe he needs new supplements. He even starts blaming a slow metabolism for his exhaustion. But he's ignoring what happens after the plate is empty. He assumes digestion is an automatic machine, that once the food goes in, his body handles it, and his job is entirely done. The reality is that digestion is not passive. The 60 minutes immediately following a meal is a highly reactive metabolic window where your body starts responding to physical activity, or the lack of it, in ways that dictate how the next several hours will feel. Think about our normal routines. We finish eating and immediately transition to a desk to work, a couch to watch TV, or a bed to scroll on our phones. The human body responds to movement almost instantly after eating, and it responds just as powerfully to a complete lack of movement. When you go from eating straight into total stillness, a change begins occurring inside your bloodstream. The immediate shift from eating to sitting creates a metabolic bottleneck, sabotaging energy levels before the meal is even finished. This is a cross-section of a bloodstream showing what's really going on. The moment food is digested, it breaks down into glucose. That glucose acts as fuel, flooding the bloodstream to deliver chemical energy to your cells. To handle all that incoming fuel, your body relies on your muscles. They are the largest glucose absorbers in your entire system, acting like receptor ports ready to pull in the sugar. But when you sit completely still, those muscular demand centers shut down. They refuse to accept the incoming fuel, locking their doors while the glucose continues to pour in. Now you have a biological traffic jam. Glucose builds up in the blood, and your pancreas releases a sweeping wave of insulin to forcefully clear the sugar out of the channel. Because your body overcompensated, that insulin flood clears the blood sugar out aggressively. The result is a steep, sharp drop in your circulating energy. The afternoon brain fog and the sudden, desperate craving for sugar are the biological consequences of that insulin overcompensation, triggered by the lack of muscular demand. Correcting this does not require a grueling post-meal workout. In fact, intense exercise right after eating can actually disrupt your digestion and make you feel much worse. The true goal is simple mechanical activation. Just 10 minutes of taking a slow walk, standing at your desk, or pacing the room turns those dormant muscles back into active participants. Look at the bloodstream again, this time with movement added. That light activity reopens the muscle pathways. The receptor ports stay wide open, smoothly pulling glucose from the blood as it arrives. Traffic flows perfectly, and your body requires far less insulin. This mechanical change creates smaller blood sugar spikes, which leads to stable energy throughout the rest of your day. When Jake tried this, he added a light 10-minute walk, sometimes outside, sometimes just around his house, immediately after his meals. Within a couple of weeks, his afternoon brain fog vanished. He stopped feeling heavy after dinner, and his nighttime sugar cravings disappeared. Jake kept his diet exactly the same. He simply coordinated his movement to align with his body's energy intake. This shift changes the focus from what foods are bad to a much more useful question: what is my body doing with this fuel after I eat it? Tonight, try something different. When you finish dinner, do not collapse onto the couch. Walk for 10 minutes. Pay close attention to the physical difference in how you feel an hour later. Your energy levels are reacting to your habits in real time.